money, secure that bag, ayy. Boss up, get that money, secure that bag, ayy. Boss up, boss up, boss up, get that money, get that money. She a queen and they love her cause she got her own place, own car, she let go.
Hey y'all, how you doing? I have a message for you. So you already know what it is. It's your girl Shay Shay from Simply Magnolias and Honey. Just a southern girl living life like it's golden. No matter how thick and sticky life gets, remember it is still what? Golden. Yeah. Follow me right now. Right? I was just sitting here thinking again. And I really want y'all to understand something. Not just understand it, but understand it. Okay? Now, a lot of you all don't understand this, but we are in a period called the Mercury Retrograde. A lot of people are going through some changes, some really big changes. You've probably been seeing it all over TikTok. You've probably been seeing it all over Instagram, whatever the case is. Those of us who are spiritually in tune with the Holy Spirit, basically, those gifts have been heightened. And you may have come across some new gifts that you're like, what the world? I didn't know I had that. Okay, so during this process, right, a lot of you guys, it's a process called ascending, right? Um, like I told y'all the other day, like I was hearing conversations without me being around certain people. Like I can hear I was hearing conversations of my coworkers talking about that I was late. That I was late coming into work, right? And when I got in the building, I was like, I know I'm late. Shoot, y'all ain't gotta say nothing. And they was like, and like I told you, I said the one chick was like, did you hear so and so? I said, yeah, I heard y'all. And I was like, but I wasn't even in the building yet. Um, there are certain dreams that I'm starting to have of um some of the dreams they're very they feel like deja vu. They feel as if I have gone through them already. It feels as if like I've been there before, but I ain't never been there before, if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So again, this is during a period of it's called Mercury retrograde, where it feels like everything, like the Murphy's law. Murphy's law is this: everything that can go wrong will go wrong. You hear me? Everything that's gonna go right, guess what is gonna go wrong too. Okay. And so it feels as if everybody's out to get you. It feels like you try to take 10 steps forward and you get pushed back 50. And then it feels like everybody who you was once cool with, you starting to see their true colors. You like, hold on, wait a minute, what? So you like this big tail daggone headband I got on my head. But so it's it's like you done found out folk true colors. You done found out like, right, Look, I done found out like some stuff. You hear me? The person who you thought would have your back after so many years, you looking like, yo, like, who are you? What the world? And in your mind, you think like, what the world did I ever do to you that would cause you even go down this route? And you sitting there looking like, okay, so everybody want to show their ass. This must be the time period where everybody want to. So again, everything that's going to go wrong is going to go wrong. Everything that you like, it's you feel like you bipolar. You starting to feel all these emotions, like you just like, why am I crying? Shoot. Like right now, it is 1:21 in the morning. And you see I'm wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Hell, I'm not even sleepy, for real. Listen, this is me every single night, I promise you, since about like July 28th something, 29th something. When I told you a couple videos back, it's like automatically like I've stepped out of the freaking matrix or something. But around that date, I barely eat. Like I'm losing, waist getting kind of snatched. I'm not eating for real. Like I really don't. Like sometimes I'll be forgetting. Like, dang, did I eat today? And, y'all know the ones who know me. Like, man, Shay, you always eating something. I know. And that's the same time. Sorry, my lash gets stuck. But that's around the same time that I brought that daggone rabbit in the house. Where he at? He better be up there. But, and like these dreams sometimes that I be having, like again, is happening around that same time. It all started around that same time. And for whatever reason, since that date, and since that daggone we bought that rabbit, like my breathing has been like affected by it. And so it's like I can feel my body going through a lot of changes. Again, I can listen. I will get up around like 7:30, sometimes to get the kids up or whatever. But I will be up at like 7:30, go to work, get off, or stay late, whatever. Come home, cook, clean, whatever else. Hoop and holler at them. And then once everybody's asleep around 10 o'clock, I'm wide awake. 11 o'clock come around, 12 o'clock come around, 1 o'clock. And by the time I know it, it's daggone near 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, all right, now I'm sleepy. But it's something, ew. But it's something from the time periods from between like midnight and 4. I don't be sleepy. I will be up all morning, like just either I'm scrolling, either I'm reading, either I'm writing, or I just be up. Excuse me. Ooh, burping for no reason. I ain't even drink. Well, yeah, I did. But that was like 30 minutes ago. I had some water. But anyway, so I can feel my body going through a lot of different changes. Certain sounds are really getting louder in my ear. Like this daggone smoke detector keep beeping in my daggone ear, but it's almost as if I can hear the ringing right here in my ear versus it being up there. Look at that. It's like right here in my ear. Like I can feel like the vibrations of the beep or something. But anyway, like I said, I've been having these dreams of me being like some type of Egyptian goddess or a queen or something from Egyptian time. And whoever this guy is, we've been together several lifetimes. Okay? And every lifetime we've had to find each other, rekindle each other, and we've had to keep finding each other for each lifetime or whatever. And then but this time now, the dream that I told y'all the last video show. But this dream just now, well, a couple days ago, last week I think, me and him were together, but on in real life, he had already had kids. I had already had children, of course. But for such a time as this, we both ended up single. And during this moment, so when the dream picked up, it was all the children that he had some, I had some, but in the dream, all the children that we had on earth, like in real time, they were already there. Like we had already had them or something. But then there were other ones too. Now, I got y'all know I got a soccer team. Like, and then the daggone rabbit. Oh, well, yeah, we was like rabbits for real. Shoot. It's like 15 of them little jokers running around. But anyway, in the dream, like, like I told you, it took place in like a desert, but in the desert, it was this huge, beautiful, like freaking, like palace, man. And then on the other side of the desert was a freaking rainforest. Where they do that at? Okay, one side of the daggone dream took place in like this desert area, but the big palace was behind. But then it was millions of people in the front, and he was looking at me like, "Come on, baby, hurry up and tell everybody what we gotta say." And on the other side was like this rainforest type jungle looking thing. But anyway, the point is, on Earth, like we are supposed to find each other right now. Like during this time lifespan, we are past connection partners, right? So we've been together before. And during this lifetime, it's only going to be by divine timing. Divine timing that we're going to end up finding each other again. When? Don't know. But, and it's almost like I'm hearing the person's thoughts. Y'all don't think I'm crazy, because I'm pretty sure some of y'all going through the same thing. If you are spiritually gifted. But it's almost as if sometimes I can hear the male's thoughts. I'm not gonna tell you what he said because he like oh my gosh. I ain't gonna tell you what he said because I can't tell you that. But it's almost like this person thinks that they're not good enough for me. But he understands that, but at some point he feels like he knows me, but he don't. He feels as if, why do I know her, but I've never met this girl in my life, but she's so intriguing to me. It's something about her eyes that every time I look at her, it's like I look into her eyes and I see somebody that I've known for a lifetime, but I can't put my finger on it, right? So then he's like, I'm just sitting there carrying this dry tail. So then he's like, I want to reach out, but I don't want to feel like I'm crazy. I want to talk to her, but I don't want to feel like, what if I'm not as she expected or something like that. And then, but eventually he's going to get tired. He's like, you know what? Forget it. Like, I listen, please don't think I'm crazy, but I have to ask you something, and from that point on, and at that moment, it's going to be like, all right, bet, like, and right now we're at a distance. He lives in another state or maybe even another country, and I'm over here. So he's like, look, I don't care how long it takes me, but I've got to come into union with you. We don't have time for no dating. We don't have time for no courting. Like I know you already. Like, our mission is huge. Yes, we both have our individual purposes, but our mission collectively, meaning you and I and those children that we already have, but then there's some that we have to have divinely as well. And once we bring forth these children, that's when it's going to be a wrap, like power couple vibes type of thing, right? So, yeah, I feel like it's a strong pull. That's why I started getting a strong pull last year to move. Like, I kept getting these thoughts of like, Shay, you finna move, Shay, you about to move, Shay, you about to. I'm like, that. I know I want to move, but that's when I was planning on moving out the country at that time. I mean, I still do, but this was last year. So basically, last year March, I've been packing my house up. Okay, and when I get those deep, like those deep messages, like, okay, Shay, do this, 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 and that. It it's like a strong, deep desire for me to do so. And when I don't act on it immediately, I get like a sudden feel of like depression or something. And lately, I've been feeling like, okay, Shay, now you listen. You've listened, and there's a lot of lessons that you have had to learn in these past 4 years, and a lot of the hell that you just went through for the past 3 to 4 years, or well, 4 or 5 years almost. I'm about to make up for it. You don't have to do anything. Stop trying to be in control of everything. You think that, okay, well, let me help you out. You think, okay, Shay, maybe I need to go out and go get another job. Maybe I need to go out here and like trying to help God out. Yeah, all right. So God is telling Shay, be still. He's coming. Be still, daughter. Go sit your little tail down some daggone where. Focus on your purpose, on what you're supposed to do. Focus on getting your house in order as far as these children right too. Because when he comes on the scene, listen, it's going to be about business. Yes, we both going to make time for each other. Yes, we're going to have time for, family moments, but this mission is bigger than us. Like, when I really get the full message of what the mission is going to be about, man, listen. And at that point, I'm still not going to be able to tell you. You just going to have to see it for yourself. Okay. So anyway, let me get back to the topic of this timing that we're in. The timing that we're in of this period of time. One of the most beautiful times of your timeline in ever. Some people are not gonna make it during this time period because their heart not right. Their characters are not right. A lot of y'all still got you're still holding grudges and unforgiveness in your heart. You're still holding motives and vindictiveness, and y'all got vendettas out the booty hole. You trying to get back at folk for what? What I'm trying to tell you is this: do not use this period of time. I keep burping. Shoot, man. Do not use this period of time to seek revenge. I think I've said this before already. Don't use this time to seek revenge. Don't, like I said, if you have to do certain things to make sure that your family is okay, then yes, do that. But to want to fight folk, if you up there trying to fight folk, you trying to argue with them, you trying to come up with all this, you telling this person, being a daggone parasitic leech, you like a daggone cancerous tumor, just spreading for no reason. Like today, my daughter went to go look for a dog at the Humane Society, right? And the day before, the day before that day, the woman told her, well, if you have other dogs in your household, bring them to be able to see, if they get along with each other. So she was like, Mom, I want you to come. I'm like, all right, come on. All right. So I go. The minute we walk in, y'all heard that? Yeah, all right. That means man, this message about to be, boy, this message I'm trying to, listen. I know this might be a little lengthy, but I'm trying to tell you, just listen to me for a minute. So the minute we walk in there, right? automatically, it's like my senses got started getting real heightened. I was quiet. I didn't say nothing. And I walked in and I just started observing everybody that was in the room. The minute we walk in, my daughter walked up first and she's like, yeah, we were here yesterday, da da da, woo woo woo, and we're here to see the little dog, whatever. And the woman told us from yesterday to bring my dogs so they can get acquainted with each other and everything. Automatically, yo, that girl face went from to, and I'm standing in the corner like, ooh, ooh. And I said, Shay, shut up. I said, all right. So I'm watching the girl face the entire time. And automatically in her mind, she like, I just don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like, I don't want to do this. This is not going to work. You got them two small dogs and you got this big tail pit that you trying to bring. This automatically is almost like I was like reading her freaking thoughts. Like this child did not want to get up for nothing. So finally, she was like, so a woman walked up and she was like, well, yeah, well, let's just try to see everything, going. So the girl gets up, she walks over to the other woman. She was like, well, I just don't think it's going to work out because, it's almost like I can hear everything she was saying, right? It was weird. She's like, I just don't want to bring him out because I just think that he did it. And she got those two small dogs and that. And she's going a mile a minute. And everybody else sitting there looking like, and she like, well, you did. So finally they were like, well, let's just give it a try. They bring a dog out and the two little ones, they still puppies. So they like, then they barking and carrying on. This where the daggone tumor come in at. I'm having a conversation with my daughter. I said, Pootie, from the get-go, Shorty act like she didn't even want to help you from the beginning. The minute you walked in, her whole demeanor changed. It was almost like her daggone neck sunk into her daggone chin. Like her chin sunk into her daggone neck. That thing was like, she said, I said, so, and I'm sitting there watching her like, oh, all right, I wish you would. I wish you would pop off on her. But I remained quiet and I watched her. So the whole time she going from person to person to person to person like a tumor. I watched that daggone parasite affect everybody that she talked to. Then so by the time my daughter, she walking around crying and carrying on because the big dog, he and the whole time the dogs interacting, I'm looking over there at her. She shaking her head and carrying on. And I said, look, Pootie, automatically I said that girl over there had a negative connotation from the beginning. She didn't want to help you out from the beginning. From the get-go. And when people automatically already in their mind make up their mind about something, they not going to change their mind. And guess what? And because they done already made up her mind from the beginning, as soon as we walked through the daggone building, she affected everybody else that was around her. So everybody else around her, they looking at her like, oh, I don't think it's a good idea either. Not even know the daggone situation. Ain't now one of them came outside to see the dogs interacting. They automatically was infected by that daggone parasite. It was like we was daggone World War Z or something. That daggone thing went from one to the next to the next to the next. So the lady was like, well, man, we have to make sure we see it. I said, I understand that. And I said, but from the beginning of the conversation, from the beginning, she acted like she didn't want to help. Like, I mean, I can understand if she was giving suggestions. Hey, well, mom, or if you're a mom, why don't you take the dog and then allow them every so often, y'all bring them, every so often, every single day. Didn't give no suggestions. She's sitting there just shaking and popping her little head off every 5 seconds and trying to cut me off. And man, listen, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. If I'm trying to talk to you and I'm talking to you just like this and you keep cutting me off, it took every ounce of my being to say, shut up. I said, all right. So I said, listen, Pootie. I said, well, won't you go to the back and go see if there's any other dogs that you guys said, because right now this one ain't working out. And I said, I'll tell you the reason why in a minute. But just go on back there and go see if you see anything else. She went. I had never been in a shelter before. Like a dog shelter. I've never been in one. Y'all, when I tell you my soul hurt, the minute I walked, like when you first walk in the building, okay, then you go to the back, you go through the double doors, and you go inside the actual like kennel part. Yo, I felt like crying. Automatically, I felt like this deep, dark, like depression from animals. I've never felt that before. Like, as I walked by each and every single one of them, they were all quiet when we walked in. But the minute I started walking by them, they all got up and started to like bark and stuff. And when I turned around and I looked into their eyes, oh my gosh. It was the most saddest thing I had ever seen in my life. Yo, these animals, man, their face just looked like, it was almost like I can, oh my gosh, read their emotions. I felt so drained. I felt so drained. I felt so like depressed. I felt so sad. I felt like not suicidal, but I felt like in a dog's perspective, I felt like nobody wants me, so why am I even here? Like, why even, this is the same routine every day. People come in here day in and day out and don't nobody want me type of feeling, right? And so as I began to walk to each of the little cages, I said, yo, and the time that I was, when I got convicted of my felony, and I went into the jail cell or whatever, the same setup that the jail was is the same setup that daggone kennel was, the shelter was. And I felt like, I said, man, this feel like jail. Yo, like this, and even on their description, it's like, oh, no blankets, no pillows, because you don't, suicidal risk. You don't want people to hang themselves with the blankets and stuff. And it was like, one had the little round circle thing over his head. A few of them did. I had to hurry and get up out of there. I said, yo, I'm about to cry. This feels like they're in a penitentiary. I was so hurt. I said, yo, I said, I told my daughter, I said, look, I know how you feel, but I can't be in here, number one. Number two, I don't like the vibe in here. Like, for whatever reason, them animals are depressed. I said, I don't like the way that they acted towards you, number one. Number two. Number three, I told her, I said, go ask, okay, was there one in there that you saw? She's like, yeah, did this with this. I said, okay, go up to the front. Now, by this time, the same chick was up at the front desk, still whispering to a new person. So when my daughter walked up to the desk, the new person looked at my daughter and basically like didn't acknowledge her, didn't say hey, didn't say, how can we, nothing, not one word. My daughter said, hey, I just want to know if these are, how much is so-and-so. That girl looked at her and was like, she turned and looked up on the screen. Now, mind you, the other lady sitting at the thing, she ain't know what was going on, no nothing, until that daggone beast of a tumor came over there and started running her daggone mouth. So she looked up, she told her the price or whatever. I said, Porter, let's go. I said, because I don't like the way they doing business. I just don't like this. I don't like the vibe up in here. I said, these heifers act like they can't help you out. I said, the woman who gave you all this information yesterday, now while you going through having a daggone emotional fit, she over there peeking around the corner looking like we playing hide and go seek in the building or something. She peeking, and I was like, well, why didn't I said, why? I said, this the lady you was talking to yesterday. Why the world didn't she come over here and help you just to alleviate all this? Man, my baby started crying. I said, you know what? Let's get up out of here for this daggone retrograde. Had me up there playing. All right. Then we walking out. The lady that was sitting next to the one that was bumping her gums, she finally stood up and smiled at me. I said, yeah, all right. I said, put it here, let's hurry up and get up out of here. And we left. Some of y'all are being tempted beyond. You don't know what the world's going on, boy. You just know that you getting tempted left and right. You be like, I had a dream the other day where I don't know who the world it was, but I was standing in the middle of nowhere, like it was all black or something. I don't know. And I just felt my body being jerked around like this. And I was being tossed and turned, like basically being tossed to and fro. Who the world know? Who y'all know do that? When he went to the Father and said, look, he said, Father said, what you doing? He said, I'm on the earth seeking whom I may devour. I'm going to and fro the earth. Who did that? Oh, all right. So I was being pulled left and right, to and fro, right? And I just felt my body being like jerked around like this in the dream. So when I woke up, automatically it was like a revelation, like a confirmation that said this: you are being tested beyond belief right now. Your character is being tested. The way you handle certain things, the certain people coming into your life, how are you handling them? Past people starting to come back in your life and be like, oh, can we have another chance type of stuff. Then it's like oh, people, my lollipop. Ooh. And then it was almost like, Shay, don't lose your composure. Allow them to. Because this is for your highest good. Okay? This is not for them. Because trust me, I'm gonna get with them in a minute. But you know better. So do not, girl, don't sabotage. Don't self-sabotage what I got coming for you. Don't do it, Shayla. I said, okay. And I said, but I've been getting to and fro, tossed from one end to the next end for the past 4 years. He said, don't worry about it. Because what I'm about to bless you with is going to make up for everything that you have ever faced. This cup, this jar full of tears that I got sitting next to me. Oh, baby, you ain't going to worry about nothing. Because I'm about to make it rain fall on you. You hear me? Some of y'all been going through the most trying times. Please don't fight back. They don't know for real what they're doing. They really don't understand the ramifications of what they're doing, the consequences that they're going to have to face, the karma that is waiting at their door. Some of them are in their karma moment right now, but they're trying to take it out on you. And when you don't fight back, you don't argue, you don't get on the phone hooping and hollering, cussing, they trying to figure out what the world's going on. We're like, why she ain't coming after me? That's not normal. That's normal. Y'all characters is being tested, ain't it? I know. Your family showing their true colors. Your spouses ain't acting right. Your job acting funny, playing with your money. You out here trying to think of different ways, doing something strange for a piece of change. Don't do that. Don't do it. You're not going to have to do it. Don't do it. Okay. So it's like this. Your characters are being tested. This is a process for progress. Do not self-sabotage what you got coming for yourself. I don't even care if you don't even know. Shay, I don't even know what I'm getting anyway. What if I'm... Trust me. Don't act a fool. Two clowns arguing back and forth with each other. What you gonna get? Two daggone clowns arguing back and forth with each other with no everybody trying to be right. Just put that pride aside, put that ego aside, be like, you got it. You got it, you got it. Some of y'all have been given chance after chance after chance. And during this time period, this is like your 90-day probation, right? This is like the time where you getting tested back and forth, and you just trying to figure out, God trying to figure out, like, are you ready? Have you been a good steward over your character as of yet? Have you been doing your work of what you're supposed to be doing? Y'all, all right. Stop playing. So this, a lot of y'all feel like you got a lot of time. Oh, I got plenty of time to do whatever it is that I gotta do. Act a fool. I got plenty of time. Says who? I mean, some of us have come to the conclusion that time for real don't even really exist. But then at the same time, time is a commodity, because you never know when your daggone last day is gonna be. Story time. Story time within a story time. Listen. Let me take you back to the date of December 19th of 2019, right? We were just leaving a revival, bomb.com. I had just told God, I promise you, like, I need to give myself back to you. Like, all the mess that you've given you that I've gone through lately, and I'm still here. Like, I owe you. Like I owe it to you, man. Like, I've got to dedicate myself. The husband at the time, he was driving. He was like, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm so sleepy. Do. And I was like, "All right." I said, "I'll take over." I pulled over at this little gas station, and I started driving. Well, deep in my heart, I was the one that made the commitment to say, I'm gonna get my family back together. I'm gonna rededicate my life and my family. We gotta get this right. I'm driving, right? Next, this big tail box ends up flying off this man's car, off the little trailer thing he had in the back of his car. Dude in front of me swerves out the way. Now, mind you, it's pitch black. It's like 11 o'clock, midnight, almost o'clock at night. During winter time, you can't see. It's fogged up, and we live in the mountains, so it's like all foggy everywhere. So I'm like, where he going? I happened to look over, because dude flew like on the side. I said, where he? So when I said, where he going? And I looked back like this, and it was like this big tail white box sitting in the middle of the road, like just sitting there for no reason. Man, I went to go, and I was driving the Suburban at that time. So, man, I went to go turn the wheel like that. The back of it just started fishtailing, and we were all like wooing. And now, mind you, during this time, it was getting hot. And it was winter time. It's cold outside, but it started getting hot in the truck. It's like 10 people in the car. All them black people in one area. One little small section, right? So everybody getting hot, shoot. So he takes off his coat and his seatbelt. He takes the seatbelt and the coat off. Now, mine, and then he ends up falling asleep because he was too tired. That truck got the fishtailing and wobbling in the back. And I was trying to control the wheel, and I'm sitting there panicking and carrying on. And then next thing you know, boy, our truck flipped over. So I'm literally so now we all leaning this way. You see the sparks from the truck sliding down the middle of the highway on 81. 70. So we sliding down on 70, and so we know the sparks flying up. The kids screaming. The baby done flew up over my head. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the baby done flew over my head. He over there, daggone there, falling all up on top of me. I'm sitting, the window beside me done busted, cracked, everything in my air. Man, it was crazy. Yeah. We slid for, it felt like we were sliding for eternity. But we probably slid for maybe about a mile or so. Maybe. We finally like slid off to, off to like the guardrail thing. Now, on the opposite end of that guardrail was a steep tail hill, because again, we're in the mountains. So man, by the grace of God, man, that truck didn't hit the guardrail and flip over. No, we ought to have been dead. I wouldn't be here today. Everybody would have never made it. All the windows was busted out. We would have never made it. So cars was flying up behind us. Phew, phew, phew. 18-wheelers flying. Blissfully, ain't nobody hit us. But you know, normally when you see an accident, most people see accidents, they want to be nosy. I don't know what they want to be nosy and keep driving. This day though, this day, it felt like everybody stopped. I was one of the last ones out of the truck because my seatbelt got stuck. The truck was smoking. You can see the sparks, you know, you can smell from the sparks and stuff. The engine was still running because when am I going to have time to put the daggone truck in park? So everything was running. You can hear people screaming, "Oh my gosh, ma'am, are you okay? Stop!" The one guy, "Ma'am, turn your engine off." So I had to kind of reach down and, you know, push the brake and then trying to push the thing in park, or at least yank the daggone key out the ignition. The kids were screaming. He had to step up. They were stepping all over me and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then so, it looked like it was about 50 people out there helping. My baby was screaming. I remember that the baby was hooping and hollering. The girls was back there hooping and hollering, screaming and everybody. He finally had got up and I can hear him say, "My wife is still in the car." So a man ran over to me, helped me get my seat. I finally pushed the button for my seatbelt. He helped me climb up out of there. I can hear my baby in the background, in the back, way in the back. I can hear him crying. I was like, "Somebody please grab my baby," because the car started smoking even more. This lady reached in, she grabbed the baby. It was like every person out there had a kid. He run up and down the highway trying to make sure everybody, he on the phone, everybody calling, so and so, blah blah blah. Get to the hospital. Everybody get taken ride to the hospital. Everybody, you know, everybody's good. Get to the hospital. The back windshield had, of course, completely busted, completely out. I think she was 5 at the time. Yeah, 5 at the time. She was sitting back there. So by her sitting back there, when the windows busted open, she had gotten scraped, like dragged along, I guess, in the, of course, you know, along the ground part. So it's maybe about 3 layers deep of just like of her skin was gone. Like you literally can see her daggone meat underneath all the. I hit my head on the glass because when we flipped over, I hit my head on the windshield, on the windshield corner. My other one had scrapes. All the glass had busted all up in their face. Everybody had cuts all on their face. 3 of us had scratches. The other 3 did not. 3 of the 4 did not. My son, Bear, and the other one didn't have not one scratch on them. Not one. I had a few like little dings and scratch. My coat from dragging on the asphalt. My coat was all ripped all the way up. Good thing I had that coat on, because if I didn't, I would have lost all my skin. They take him. He was complaining about his neck hurting, so they took him back to the back. They put him in the neck brace because it was like, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, my neck brace. I mean, my neck hurt." So when he got to the hospital, he took the neck brace off because he's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." They did, after he did his little X-rays. They came back. They're like, "Sir, you're gonna need to put that neck brace back on. You done broke your daggone C6 and C7 of your vertebrae and the little spinal thing." Dude, he broke his neck. So the only one. So I say that to say this. I feel like I hear something on my mouth. But your time waits for nobody. And while you out there popping off with everybody else doing wrong, treating people like with no respect, just doing whatever it is that you want to do, death is lurking right around the corner. A lot of y'all ain't gonna make it during this time period right now. That was a warning. That was a warning to get your life together. After you just make a commitment like that, you make a commitment to God, and all of a sudden you're in one of the worst accidents of all time. I'm gonna show y'all the pictures of the truck next. But, and you tell me if we were all supposed to die in that vehicle that day. But when you out here doing wrong, you trying to control your life. You out there acting like a daggone fool. You playing games with your family. You out here just messing on people's life. All right. But blessedly, God lets you live. Some of y'all are not gonna make it during this time period because you won't shut your daggone mouth. You don't know how to be quiet. This stuff right here, them stuff that them people fighting, that's temporary. Let them people have their own moment. Let them have their own moment. Because they fighting their own demons. They're fighting their own internal battles. And since you the first person that they see, they trying to take it out on you. Because they see that you calm, you peaceful, you enjoy, you protecting your peace one-on-one. Hey. Why were you're not going through nothing? Why aren't you angry? Why aren't you upset? Why aren't you, you just lost everything. And you still smiling? Yep, I am. Some of y'all about to lose. Some of y'all in the process of you're losing stuff left and right. I already talked about this. Last video I already did. Stop it. You got to come to the conclusion in your mind that this is small to a giant. This little temporary stuff right here, this don't mean nothing. It don't.